Day 4 of 7 of my daily photography challenge, and we are leveling it up once more. So last night I went around with my new friend Michael, and we walked around the streets of Bangkok looking for frames that have dominant reds in it. I don't know how well I did because I still haven't really reviewed the photos from last night, but it was definitely an effort. So today we are focusing on reflections, and of course we're still using the Sony 50mm f1.2 G Master. So let's go. So we are officially halfway through this daily series. And why is today a level 4? Well, personally, in my photos, shadows, color contrast, it's something that I always look out for whenever I take photos. But reflections, not so much. So I haven't really worked out this creativity muscle in training my eye to identify good reflection patterns within my photos. But that said, I do have a game plan for today. The plan today has 3 parts, and the first one, the most straightforward, we just look for reflective surfaces, glass, windows, waters, and last night I even took photos of the light being reflected on top of car roofs. Very, very interesting framing. And the second one is I wanted to use this lens ball, which I got from my very beautiful friends here in Hong Kong as a birthday gift a couple of years ago, which admittedly I haven't been using that much. And technically it doesn't count as reflection because it refracts the light, but I'm going to be putting it under the same bucket of categories. And the third one is that we all have something in our pockets that can reflect something, which is going to be our phones. And we can use the phone underneath our lens like this, and it can lead to some very cool effects. So I don't really have a lot of time right now, probably around half an hour because I am currently just on my lunch break. But there is a spot that I wanted to check out here in Tsim Shat Tsui. So if you see over there, there's a golden building with a lot of reflective surfaces. So I wanted to check that spot out. After arriving here at the towers in China, Hong Kong City, it's not as reflecty as I thought. So probably not a shot for today's challenge. Let's continue our hunt for reflections. So shots like these kind of looks like a double exposure because you have like a clear focal point in the poster and then the things that are reflected. Just makes it a bit more surreal. Although it makes me look like I'm a super fan of this model. So I do find it a little bit annoying and amusing that today, bright sunshine, lots of shadows. I kind of wish that I did day 2 today. Would have made my life a lot easier. So I may throw in a few shadow photos here and there to make up for my failure in day 2. First attempt at this phone reflection hack thingy, and it doesn't work too well because my lens is not wide enough. And also you need to find a frame that has a very clear partitioning, like a horizon line, because otherwise the reflection will appear unnatural and too fake. With that said, I need to head back because my lunch break is already ending, and I'll continue this video later tonight. So see you again. So I managed to catch the sunset, and I am currently here in the Victoria Harbour. It's a little bit windy, so the reflections on the water is a little bit murky, but hopefully it still counts for the reflection challenge. And before I forget, I wanted to try out this lens ball. And if you're wondering what's so cool about this toy is that it casts an inverted image of the things behind the ball onto the lens. And it sort of gives you a frame of a frame within the shot. And also, because I am limited with the Sony 50mm f1.2 G Master, it's not really wide enough to capture the entirety of the harbor side. This lens gives a fisheye effect, so it's sort of like giving me an avenue to catch something wider because I have a prime lens limitation for this challenge. So really cool stuff. Hopefully the shots work out. So far, I think today's video is going to be the most chill and straightforward to film out of all the days because particularly I do not have a script and I'm just freestyling the whole day. No photography concept. Reflections are just reflections. You just really need to train your eyes to see them and then compose your shots when you do. With that said, the filming and scripting is actually the most challenging part in this series. Taking the photos is actually quite therapeutic. You just get into the zone and then frame up your shots and take them. But filming and scripting takes a lot of effort. So do like and subscribe if you're enjoying the series so far. That said, I am waiting for all the lights to turn on, and then those lights are ideally going to be reflected onto surfaces, and that's what I'm trying to aim for. So let's go. So over here on Tamar Park, I stumbled upon some giant teardrops, which I'm not particularly sure what they are, and it's lighting up. So I'm taking photos because those are reflective surfaces. So if I say it counts for the challenge, it counts. I think you'll find it amusing anyway. A very random realization as a introvert street photographer who is a bit shy taking photos of strangers on the street, that reflection is a very, very good workaround, because I can convince myself that it's okay if I'm taking people's reflections rather than directly taking a photo of them. And they probably wouldn't notice because you're taking a photo on the opposite direction of them. So I ended up walking around the streets of Central, and I wanted to take a photo of this particular street because there's a lot of nice reflections of the lights casted on the walls, which I thought would be a nice way to fill the frame with a lot of interesting subjects. And then I'm just waiting for people to pass by on the street to isolate them. So for this particular shot, I like the contrast of how this particular lot is abandoned, and then the reflection is being juxtaposed on the window surface. So it gives off that stark contrast in storytelling. I just don't know if I should wait for something else to pass by to fill the frame or just leave the shot as is. So today was fun. It's basically hunting for compositions and flexing my creativity muscles. Especially, I'm not very used to hunting for these sorts of reflections other than the very straightforward one when I wanted a cityscape reflected on some body of water, for example. But I think I'm going to call it a night, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.